I was so busy focusing on how weird Dumu's draft is for the third game pick, which I thought was going to be second. King of the Hill is still in the wins. That could still come out here, but let me mark it up correctly, folks. We just had our first, and it is a win for Benny Boy. He's on match point. Voldemar chooses to go into Borderland in an English-Malian matchup. Yeah, so assessing the draft, I can maybe see where he's coming from. Like, options, Japanese, Juji, or Malians. I mean, realistically, I think Voldemar was expecting Juji. He probably won't mind Malians, though. English, historically, have done really well in this matchup in, like, the last year through the 2TC meta with Abbey of Kings. So, as long as Voldemar takes that line and doesn't just get too chill, because you do have to apply some pressure, the game can be really good for him. What I'm wondering is if one of these new Farimba builds for the Malians can actually put a dent in that. Because a pattern we've been seeing, actually, in the current meta is that Pro Scouts beats 2TC. And that holds true for about 90% of matchups. We haven't really seen English try 2TC that much against it, though. I'm wondering, actually, if Voldemar instead goes Pro Scouts himself, actually, now that I think about it. Because, guys, we've been seeing a few Pro Scouts games out of the English with Abbey of Kings play. In fact, we had a very interesting game between Gully Deku and Kazu Johan, where he done that against Malians. Sorry, that was against Delhi, wasn't it? Yeah. But nah, of course, Voldemar is going to be going for the all-inner. Classic Council Hall build. Ooh. Wait, doesn't this just favor Malians? Unless you go 2TC. Some players like to go Council Hall over Abbey of Kings because the whole idea is that you still go 2TC. It's just you look like you're all-inning. Because the all-in forces your opponent to react anyway. Like, the goal here with 2TC play for English, either way you cut it, you need to force a reaction out of your opponent. Because if you go 2TC but Dumu just raw rushes castle with Fulani, he's fine. You need to delay him from just Fulaniing. Cheap Hall is going to be fairly even. Slight edge for Voldemar. But yeah, no, this just looks like a classic all-in. That's an interesting choice. We're just a few seconds out from live, by the way. Let me just catch up for that. There we go. So as live as can be, because I know you guys are obsessed with getting the latest and greatest. By the way, reminder, winner of this is going to be up against Wham. And honestly, I mean, if Voldemar can beat Dumu, there's a shot against Wham. Because I think actually Dumu right now is kind of on the rise. I've been impressed by some of his midweek muster performances. You have to remember, just, what was 2 weeks ago, I believe, against Puppy Paw? Well, 2 editions of midweek muster. He was able to force a 5-game series where he had Puppy Paw on the ropes. So Mansacore coming in as is standard. We have already got the mill. I'm expecting Pro Scouts, especially with the gathering as it is. Right, he's got the gen from the pit mine, the Mansa now, so his timing's going to be pretty good here. Slightly off, actually, so like there is the potential for him to just go for a stables first. But I think we're going to be seeing the Pro Scouts. Come on, Pro Scouts in return. Nah, if this was... I think if this was Abbey of Kings, we would have seen Pro Scouts for English. But with being Council Hall, I think it's just a classic all-in. There you go. Malians making their first move, minute and 15 out from being able to pick up the deer. He needs to scout this. He sees the spear. This should be very obvious what's happening now to Dumu. We're going to likely be seeing a javelin build coming. So it's already nice. He was moving out on the wood anyway because he needed to build in the stables. So he can just stop off for an archery range as well. In fact, did he just... Okay. That is a clutch switch. Dumu canceled Pro Scouts. What? Is that even legal in the current meta? It's smart, guys, because here's the thing. Canceling Pro Scouts, you now hold a lot of gold in reserve, but you can invest it straight away to get the wood going, to build the production buildings. And now that extra gold goes into javelins. That is a clutch play. I feel like so many players would have obnoxiously held on to the idea of Pro Scouts there. But this is a pristine example of how some builds require your adjustment. And it's not a bad adjustment because now we get into the classic matchup of English all-in versus Malian all-defense. And that is a tale as old as Red Bull Wololo Legacy. And ever since then, I still feel like it's always been the same way, which is Malian's middle finger and don't care. Javelin Donzo dominates what English do here. In fact, you don't even need Donzos. Right, Jav's already coming. Voldemar should have scouted what he's up against here, and this is where Dread takes over. I think he was gambling on this being pro scouts. He's at least going to get some damage done in the pit mine in the meantime, but if Jav's already here, that shouldn't last long. We do already have one Jav chasing away double Lombo. Good trade if he can actually stick on his target, but the A-click actually is going to betray him here, so oops. Dimmu, that's going to be an unnecessary loss. So nice little trade there for Voldemar. And he needs those type of trades, because otherwise you just lose. Javelin counter is already up to 2. Once it's at 4, the Lombos aren't going to feel that threatening. The issue you have here is, like, although Lombos have more range, the Javelins, the difference is negligible for the movement speed. Love that he's poking the spears as well, just understanding the range difference here. It's just free damage while he waits. Nice snipe there, Voldemar. I think Dimmu, yeah, he's realizing that actually the stables is kind of a mistake. He just needed double archery range here. I'm curious why Dimmu went for double stables. Probably because he was still thinking about pro scouts on a delay. In fairness, warrior scouts can tickle away at the reinforcements because they've got good base damage and they're able to easily retreat and heal, right? But Voldemar, yeah, I think that isn't intentional, guys. That's because he killed a house. Dimmu isn't waiting here. He's looking for the Lombos. Next thing's going to be Blacksmith, and yeah, it's already coming in. Undermesh is the bread and butter of how you win this now. Like, Javs will not care about Lombos once that tech is there. Voldemar needs to read this and get into Blacksmiths themselves. But we don't have a Blacksmith build. I'm a little bit shocked, actually. Like, it's key here. Maybe he's going for a very thin window where he can do damage, but I don't know where you're meant to do damage against Malians. They just gather off of the cow underneath the TC. Voldemar now holding back troops in reserve. Realizes what's happening with the warrior scouts. Jav count of 8 should be able to break this. In fact, he's probably going to wait for the 9th just due to undermesh. Voldy's definitely done some damage here, but you've got to look for the permanence of his play. Right, like, have we got an outpost here to stop gold gathering? Have we got all gold denial? No, there's some on the back. Looks like Dimmu is going to jump the gun with that trade there. That felt like an unforced error. Yeah, I mean, like, he's safe on gold, guys. He literally has a reserve. So it's not as if he needs to fight tooth and nail to get back on this in a rush. It's going to be rebuilding the pit mine now. It's 13 Lombo versus 7 Javs. Still not quite enough to get those one-hit kills, actually. I mean, Voldemar, he's doing a good job of keeping the pressure on. Dimmu's trying to get cute with the micro. He was trying to snipe 2 at once there, but you have to remember Spearmen, if they gap close, pretty decent damage into these units. Voldemar starting to struggle with the lack of Blacksmith techs, though. Yeah, this is my worry, man. Like, I thought he was peeling away for a castle build or something, but he just forgot about Blacksmiths. Yeah, I legit think that Voldemar forgot to even get the text. Like, this is the type of thing where in post-game review, and Voldemar is usually quite open about this. He's like, usually the retrospective guy will sit down and immediately like dissect it. He'll be like, oh yeah, I should have 100% had the Blacksmith. Because Steeled Arrow is just necessary to keep playing like that. And look at that, guys. Just your atypical 10-minute Pro Scouts build for Malians. Now, this would be a really bad, damning detail for Dimmu if Voldemar was halfway to castle already. He's not. He's nowhere near. Doesn't have farm clusters set up the wazoo, right? Hasn't got 3 farm clusters, so rushing castle is very difficult. Like, Voldemar at this stage is out of sheep. Alright, 1's if you think Voldemar's going to win this, 2's if you think Dimmu's going to take it. Because the Lombo army doesn't really look that threatening anymore, right? You need, I'd say, at least 2 Lombos to 1 Jav to contest. And Tex. But by the time he has Tex, Dimmu's going to have probably the same number. Flat is vibing. Second farm cluster in. If Dimu takes a chill pill and doesn't rush, Voldemar will get Castle Age at least, right? So, like, this game isn't immediately over. It's not GG, 2-0, bye-bye Voldy. There's still a way. Like, Castle Age can offer up some potential options here. You have to feel like it does favor Malians for a few different reasons, though. Like, Fulani obviously would amplify his food income a lot. Even if he chooses to go for Frimber instead, Frimber really good against English because they want to do either longbows or crossbows, and you just do freeborn. I think we're likely looking at a Fulani build, though. Maybe if Voldemar blobs enough men-at-arms. What's interesting is Dimu with Pro Scouts can actually build Sofa to counter that, though. Yes, Sofa do counter the men-at-arms. Like, you have 3 melee armor, and Sofa and Fuel Age get 2 bonus against infantry, right? So you pretty much have no armor. Voldemar maybe Pro Scout behind aggression. He didn't, but like it would have been an option earlier. It's too late now. What's interesting actually is like looking back at the early game, the blacksmiths for Voldemar wasn't just important for Steeled Arrow. He could have potentially went siege engineering. Against the full Javelin army, he would have gotten away with killing loads of extra houses, the pit mine, maybe even shunted onto the archer ranges uncontested. Right? Like that's the difference that Blacksmith makes. It just gives you the options for an English all-in. Nice snipe there. So second worker killed the game. But guess what? Dimu doesn't care because look at all this extra food income. 150 food, that is like having almost an extra 4 villages. We've got double pit mine as well, generating 100 resources each, so that's like another 5 villages between them. And then the Manticore is worth 2. So, to break that down on like a mathematical standpoint, we're talking about like, what? 11 extra villages worth? That's wild. No, that's Malian. Voldemar, classic walls. Alright, so Voldemar has reassessed the game and has come to the conclusion that he must go to Imperial Age. It actually really feels like it now, this build. Well, the good news is, even if this is a 2-0, I think it's going to be a long series. You guys love long games, right? Mali's about to Mega Boom. It's not entirely over, actually. If this goes late enough, Malian don't have an optimal trade route, so like hyper super duper late game is insane for them. But yeah, Dimu is in a good position here, a very dominant position. We got Fulani coming in a sec. Remember what we said about Dimu? Like, Dimu may find himself in the mid-late game a lot, but he doesn't seek it. What he seeks is blob and kill. Malians is a perfect embodiment of exactly that. I think I remember about a year and a half ago, there was a point where I was saying Dimu was the best Malian player because of the way he was leveraging that Zerg timing. It was just the cleanest I was seeing. So, you know, definitely a familiar sight for him. This was post King Beastie of the Malians meta, right? It was when they fell off a little bit, and Dimu had some really sick builds. I know Pro Scouts from Voldemar. I just don't think it's an option with Council Hall. If this had been Abbey of Kings, it could have made sense, but Council Hall requires you to actually actively add too much to then go Pro Scouts. The whole idea of what Voldemar done here is his build works if his opponent doesn't cancel tech. Like, if Age of Empires 4 did not allow you to cancel a Q tech, we'd be looking at a completely different game right now. Voldemar now just trying to mirror the tech up. There's just so much food that Ben has to work with. Yes, I've never seen Voldemar do this before. You guys ever think that maybe Puppy Paw and Wham have another unknown brother, right? One that their family didn't tell them about? One that they sent away to a Danish boarding school? Voldemar's Danish, so... Oh, I guess that's just a coincidence, you know. This guy loves his walls. It's very rare that a game goes past 20 minutes with Voldemar without him basically creating the maze from Takeshi's castle on the minimap. Yeah, I feel like Voldemar wants to go for a foreign exchange student program, trade places with CSO, and maybe tutor underneath Louis MT. Dimu's just looking for the entry point at this stage. He'll start blobbing up the scouts, actually. I would have expected Sofa here, but then again, your opponent has mass Lombos. Going Warrior Scouts is just a lot more cost-efficient than Sofa. And we did get the Abbid Kings, right? So, like, Voldemar is in a really bad position right now. Dimu knows it. If he attacks now, he can actually kill Voldy. Because you don't have a white tower to reset things. This isn't exactly what I call a quick kill, though. Let us in! Let us in! Guys, I've got a strategy for taking down the gate. Yeah, Timmy, what are we doing today? We shove so many sticks into the big sticks on the wall that they collapse under the pressure. Timmy, you're now captain of the squad. Lead the way. Just a guy, a Fletcher in the tree line, making new javelins for them constantly. Is Dimu going fast Imperial Age? It's going fast him. Alright, this is just feeling like one of those games where Dimu is vibing. We've seen those type of ones before. This... I think this might be a Fort the Huntress game to secure the gold. I've been a really big fan of Great Bar recently, but if you just Fort the Huntress here, Voldemar doesn't have much gold. It's not that English need much gold, but you strip options from them, right? Like, they can't go Gunnacom. They can't go Mass Mangonels. It's very difficult to win in the late game without one of those two. Voldemar marching out. Unfortunately, the lack of a scout is going to hurt him there. Doesn't even get a chance to try and hit into Dimu. The villagers are being pulled, so we're actually going to get a Fort the Huntress. Not really exactly where Dimu was looking for. I think he was trying to aim for the south side, southwest side of the sacred site, close enough to gold. Oh my god! Voldemar is blind to it. The Lombos actually do reveal it though. Ambush over the tree line as the javelins start attacking. Dimu needs to hold fast here. This is starting to feel like maybe a slightly too greedy for the Huntress. Villagers now getting sniped. Lombos just need to avoid the javelins. Just go after those worker kills. This could give you the lead you need to catch up. If you can kill them, though. So they're just recommitting, but the Lombos... Wait, is the castle going up? If Voldemar targets this correctly, that's a down castle! Oh, no. Dimu, and he's pulling more villagers! Voldemar has been presented a gift far past Christmas. It's a down castle! Can he get it up? Final tap of the hammer. Final worker. It's 99%! Oh my god! Voldemar is looking like he's gonna see a game 3. Alright, Dimu, dude, like, come on, we got 19 more villages to go. Just one of you needs to touch it. Just one hammer. Just one little, just one little, just, come on. Oh no, he has reached the 4th age. I do not know how I will ever win this game. Wait a second. I now have a 50 villager lead. I might win this game, says Voldemar. And all that. I mean, it really felt unnecessary, right? That type of Fort the Huntress. The moment he saw the aggro was coming. Oh my god, his reluctance to just fall back and do something less greedy. What a situation to now find yourself in, his Ben. Dimu has still got the Fulani, so that's going to add some worker force to his count. But even with that in mind, mathematically, Voldemar is about double the worker count, right? And also, he has mass farms, buffing him already by 25%, right? Voldemar is chilling. Realistically, the only way that Voldy should lose this is if he decides to open up Doki Doki Universe and play an hour of that while not really looking at the game. At which point, when he looks back, the game will be 50-50. yeah, it's pretty rough. And we talked about trade not being like great on this map because the optimal option is near your opponent. So don't expect him to do that either. We've got triple TC now from there. No, it's not 2 TC. No. Rookie mistake there. It's got to be 3 TC. Plenty of gold coming in with the Pit Mines, Mansa, the 3 relics as well, right? Dumu's like, huh, so by my calculations, takes about 35 worker losses to build a castle. I guess we'll just, like, get the next roster ready for when I need to drop a keep on the other sacred site. Meanwhile, Berkshire coming up, but that is an insanely defensive Berkshire. Voldemar, I think, is worried that Dumu's going for an all-in because otherwise he's dead. Wingard could have worked quite well here, actually. I think Footmen are underrated against, like, Malians. They don't tend to Musafadi this deep into the game with Filani, right? They want a Sofa. And Sofa suck against Footmen. That's not Warrior Scout raid. Also, there's a little bit of reaction here, but Voldemar's looking all caught up. I don't know, man. I think, I mean, there you go. Mira's even coming in about the Wingard. It just feels, if Voldemar goes Wingard, the opening play is sick because you just spam Wingard raiders. You blob army up to 200 pop, and you just kill Malians, right? The alternative is you slow roll it with Footmen. That works too. Even Wingard Rangers is pretty sick here because, like, Dumu's realistic play to try and get back in this game now is reblob economy, switch into Mangoes. Wingard Rangers are pretty good against Mangoes. Alright, ones if you think Voldemar's going to win this, twos if you think Dumu's going to take it. There are people right now that have just typed 2 and they're hovering on the enter key and they're like, do I really send this? I think Voldemar, the only way he loses this is if he just is too reluctant. I mean, so here's the thing. I think Voldemar is a very established and orderly player, right? And if there was one negative swing detail you would have to give that would favor Dimu here, is for an orderly player, the last place they want to be, even if they're ahead, is an unorderly game. This is pure chaos, right? This is so chaos it might birth a 5th god, right? Zinch, Korn, Slanesh, Nurgle, no match for this. We need a 5th one in here to make sense of it. The game is so off of standard play that if Voldemar isn't comfortable in that environment, which, you know, Voldemar usually prefers it to follow the track, then he might just play this a bit too chill. And if he does that, Dumu's back in it, right? Like, you know, he's already back up to 56. Voldemar definitely still has the lead, but it's 4 TC Malian. He needs to attack. I think even just waiting for Elite Army Tactics and all these university techs is too slow. Wolf's going up as well, so blocks him against flank raids here. But Voldemar, I just don't like the speed at which he's playing this. There's no urgency. In fairness, who really expects 4 TC Malians? It's the correct call by Dimmu, though. I love the fact that he's just utilizing scalps, this dirt cheap unit, to raid, because they're dirt cheap, but they're actually efficient. You only pay 90 resources for something that has a nice 11 base damage. And also heals. Villagers getting found. Nice little raid here. And afterwards, he can just back away, go through the gates of the wall that he just built, right? So he forces the reaction down here. Voldemar is now not dancing in the center. Sacred Site timer is now ticking down to 7 minutes. Decap is at least coming in, so Dimmu won't get the win condition off this, but he got extra resources. He got distractions. This is how you get back into a game, guys. We had someone in here earlier today asking, how often do you see comebacks in AoE4? You're going to see them a decent amount when you focus on raiding. Raiding is the way back in when you're behind. Dimmu's doing a phenomenal job of presenting how. Isn't this game timeline corners born? That's true. We have a lot of meat grinders in AoE4. Actually, no. I think this is the timeline where Slanesh is born due to overindulgence, i.e. pro scouts. It's too much food. So nice quick wall there. Voldemort stops the scouts getting even deeper. They have the army marching north side, so we'll be able to block a recap attempt by Dimu, but that villager lead is shrinking fast. Biology's coming in. I don't think we have any university techs yet from Voldemort. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he even has a university. No. So, after all of that lead he built up, after that pump and pull and push into Imperial, what does he have to show for it? Oh no, I just realized I've got like a Chaos Dwarf player in my chat. I mean, I don't want Vashdor, I'd be more up for the Tau God that was almost created. Look it up if you're a Warhammer 40k fan, how the Tau almost created a 5th Chaos God. It's a banger. They would have then become the most hated alien faction in Warhammer 40k, taking the title away from Eldar. Anyway, let's focus on Warhammer more in the game. Because Voldemort needs to bring the hammer down now. If he waits just 2 minutes, this is Dimu's game. I just think he's getting too distracted. Warrior Scout's dragging him away. Army's starting to swell up and come out, but you know, you have got biology tech there. Gunners are getting queued up here. I think this is the type of game that's going to have Voldemort face bombing. It does feel as if he slow rolled himself. We do have bombards coming up though, so there's still a will, still a way. Right, Dimu still needs that extra like minute and a half that we're talking about, especially now that these cube gunners. Hand cannons also come from Voldemort. These should be better, especially once the Fort the Huntress is gone. The whole idea is when you remove First Strike. First Strike is giga broken on gunners because of the way it amplifies their damage so high. Right, like they almost just like one hit a men-at-arms. Feels that good. Spearman I think ends up with like 10 or 20 health left after one shot. Looks like the repair crew at least trying to make this last a bit longer. Fort the Huntress now being dove. No boiling oil means it's not really that much of a threat. We haven't got cannon placements either. This is a pretty underwhelming defensive landmark to try and stake your defense on. Bombard, not really going to help much. Dimu just needs more gunpowder units of a different kind. Now that he sees as well, Voldemort, if he just goes back to Lombo's spears should be capable of breaking what Dimu is doing here. Especially with the spell count, but right now the military count doesn't tell a story that favors the English here. Warrior Scouts front lining, it's buying time for the hand cannons to clear the way. Lombo's now diving in, just looking to snipe that count down. Good micro there from Voldemort. The rebuild is coming. Dimu, I feel like, is this deja vu? I'm pretty sure I've seen this with villagers on a Fort the Huntress before. I'm kidding this time, not enough of them are going to die. In fact, if he wastes time killing the villagers, his army's going to get mopped up. Dimu is looking to make the comeback of midweek muster. The biggest one we would have seen here. From, what, 25 villagers versus 75. He's clawing his way back in. It's come at a cost, though. A lot of villagers going down. However, return fire on the way. Dimu, a lot of his army wasn't here. The Warrior Scouts just broke into the farms. Are you kidding me? He's about to delay the game again. Farms in a bit of a pickle. Ben does ride in. I mean, maybe spread out a little. One villager kill from all those Warrior Scouts, not ideal. Other time definitely adding up, stopping Voldemort from that reboom back into mass spears, men-at-arms, and whatnot. The Scouts are still alive in the back, so going to require more attention out of Voldemort here. So 21 gunners and climbing. I'm a bit worried that Voldemort is overreacting to Warrior Scouts. Your opponent has got the turmeric powder. Turmeric? Wait, that's a spice. Serpentine powder. Mmm, delicious. What a spicy tech. We have got the serpentine powder, which is going to make him quite snaky here. Before the Huntress is going back up as well. I mean, we do have mangoes, but we do not have adjustable crossbars. This is not threatening. As that very spicy yellow powder is coming in. Pretty effective. Basically, you're shooting your turmeric powder all over these yellow spearmen and lombos. They don't even realize they've been shot yet. Super effective. Danny Boy's going to back up for the moment. He needs to get more warrior scouts out here. I mean, Voldemort does have a decent number of bombards. It's just not really that scary in the grand scheme of things here. Warrior scouts just running around the back of the base. Unbelievable game from Dimmu. Farm count is only 11. That's maybe his weak point. The Fulani isn't providing enough now for mass warrior scouts. But it's cover fire, right? As he gets into more and more hand cannoniers. We finally have the right call from Voldemort. He realizes what this is turning into. Adjustable crossbars is how you win these type of games. His siege has been surviving. The mangoes are the same. So once he has adjustable crossbars, gunners die. But he needs to make sure the Fort the Huntress never goes up. Because if you do get an ambush shot in on the siege, it's an instant wipe. University blocked as well. No siege works. Adjustable crossbars coming. You can see what this game is turning into. 2.5k gold left down here. Voldemort, he needs to find additional. He needs this 4k up here. Has got the enclosures, but like you're against Malians. Their passive gold should just be better. Unless you go up to like 80 farms. We're only at 41. There's no way Ben wins this, right? How many times are you going to say that to make it come true? I want a game 3, but I think we can agree whether this ends up being a 2-0 or going to a game 3, it's already stacked up to be an insane set. So Musafari getting added in now by Dimmu. Makes sense to the men-at-arms coming. Voldemort does not have the infamous turmeric powder, which was more fitting actually for the English because we would have stolen those spices. No serpentine powder yet, right? Which is a little bit problematic against Mansa coming in. Or Musafari, rather. TCs are getting demolished though. However, at this stage, Dimmu pretty much has all the villages he needs. He needs to get the army together. Slow build up though, especially with this switch into Musafari. Waiting for all the techs. Local knowledge has also been queued. Very handy for those gunners. Gives them a little bit more life in the fights. 4 mangoes on the way. The problem for Voldemort right now is he's not losing units. So the way this is playing out is actually very bad for him because Dimmu is getting the mangoes first. Voldemort needs a fight. If he doesn't find one, siege advantage will lay with the Malians. The real comes in. Adjustable crossbars in. Voldemort still not losing enough to replace with siege. Clash coming through now. Mangoes are on the way, but slowly does it. Gunners with that reveal, with the heal. No damage really been taken here. And the mango shots to the back, the adjustable crossbars. Gonna force a retreat. Villagers once again. Are you kidding me? For the 3rd time here. It's going up. I feel like every... Wait, okay, it's not going up. We don't have enough wood to get it up. He's shy. I think he just bought a bunch actually to make it happen. In the meantime, Siege going to get chased down. Voldemort now with his own keep drop. It's time for a dose of irony. He has to pull away. Will not be able to complete it. The mangoes are now trickling out. The problem is Voldemort no longer has a front line. 4 mangoes coming in. Big wallops onto the castle. He's going to have to cancel it. And I'm sorry, sir. We do not offer refunds. It's gone. Waste of stone there. And a waste of 40 minutes of Voldemort's life, it feels like. Because this is looking like a Dimmu win. Mango count's at least going down a little bit, but the hand cannons are being ignored for it. He needs to turn onto them. He's not. Dimmu is going to reset. Respecting the damage that the siege can do. Villagers being pulled, needs to be careful with those against adjustable crossbars, but this is getting ridiculous. Greased Axle's now coming in as Voldemar is converting more and more into a mech army here. And yes, Mangoes do get buffed by network of castles and citadels. Hence why they're attacking every 5.33 seconds compared to... Oh, I can't even show you. I think it's usually 8 seconds. Stone gathering from Dimmu. Just trying to get some keep drops in. His gold is all gone, right? It's all passive income now. Both of them are kind of suffering to a certain degree with that, right? As we've got the final gold gathering coming in from Voldemar. But that's only with, what, 5 workers on? A lot of this is in the passive. Remember, he's up to 54 farms now. 2 relics, 2 sacred sites. Voldemar has the gold he needs to win a siege war. What are we doing here? Dimmu's like, where can I build a keep that I'll lose 20 villagers building, and then I'll lose another 20 villagers building, and then maybe one more dose of 20 villagers. There's got to be somewhere on the map we can do that. And we do have a breakthrough coming. Oh, but we have sprinkled towers on both sides, so both of them can be hemorrhaging. Meanwhile, Mangoes need to be careful not to overextend. They've entered a concave. Dimmu with the surround coming around the flank here. The Musafadi and Warrior Scouts do ride in, and it looks like they're going to be able to outpace the villagers trying to repair. This siege loss could be big. He's zerging towards it. Voldemar just doesn't have the military numbers. Siege lost. The Warrior Scouts should be able to clean this up. Maybe one Mango survives, but a heavy loss there for Voldemar. Gold, not as drastic of a lead as it once was in a game now where Dimmu has 4 mangonels. What a sick read. Dimmu, he just laid the welcome rug there, right? The red carpet for Voldemar to walk in on. Then ambushed him from every side like a group of photographers. And the flash on this shot is a little bit stronger. Keep drop now in position. Dimmu will look to nibble on that 3k gold. Not easy to do what he done there as well, right? Like, it wasn't really stealth because of the outpost. It was just a surround. Understanding that Voldemar did not have enough to cover all angles. Voldemar has addressed that now, but he does so from a disadvantageous position. Mass spears against Mangoes is not good. The reason why it was good for Dimmu is the movement speed. Warrior Scouts, Musafadi, these are quick-moving units. Sacred Site timer is still ticking, but really shouldn't be anymore. It should be a theoretical, very easy decap here for Ben. Castle's going to start getting seized by the bombards. Needs to be careful of the gunners. He actually took a heavy wallop from that one Mango in the north. Villagers are being pulled. The Mangoes are pulling up to defend. That's a bit overkill. A-click is not your friend. Bombard's now being targeted. Looks like he's going to wrap around the back. The castle is going to survive barely here. Villager pull, just good enough. Bombard down. I'm worried for Voldemar. Like, we're starting to reach a kind of stagnant point where he's blobbing a lot of melee. And that's where Mangoes really just reap you. Right? Dodges a shot there, but all it takes is one hit and you're 20 units down in the fight to begin with. Right, we've been doing a lot of Warhammer. It's like when you play Warhammer 40k and you build, like, you know, all the siege there. You know you're going to get that opening volley that puts your opponent to half HP bars. Difference in these type of engagements to there is, like, basically being half your army siege doesn't punish you as much. But I guess Chaos Dwarves get away with it. Like here, because he's got the keeps to assist, he can get away with having a giant chunk of his army being siege. Especially when you add in all these Warrior Scouts, these Musafadi, it's just the reproduction, they get back in the fight quicker due to movement speed. And the break-ins commence. We got crossbows for some reason. I mean, there's some reason here is that Voldemar has no gold. You don't really have a reason to be building crossbows. Actually, I'm weirded out by the fact he's not building longbows. It's just better than crossbows at this stage in the game. Because the way you have to fight. Mango shot's starting to come in. Bombards, I feel like we've been here before. What? Voldemar has been playing without elite army tactics for the last 10 minutes of Imperial bloodbath. I can't believe this. And it's coming in too late. At this stage of the game, he's losing control. Mango count now up to 7. Well, the good news about this back Berkshire is he will use it eventually, because I have a feeling Dumu is close to the breakthrough. 8 mangonels, mass Sofa, mass War Scout rather. I mean, hell, at this rate, he could switch Sofa simply because he'll have the gold influx. Voldemar. What's the point of fighting underneath the keep? He's trying to break it to break in, right? He doesn't want to just stand here because he understands that Malians won't run out of resources. He probably feels that he's losing the siege trades. So he's trying to force a win condition in endgame. The problem with Voldemar is he waited around too long. His endgame, his opportunity to win, his win condition, was sitting right there. It was having 50 more villages than the Malians. Instead of doing anything with it, though, he just padded himself for the late game. Not respecting how with Fulani, Malians can compete in Imperial. So yeah, this is spreading wide now. Keep dropping the north side. Voldemar's hemorrhaging villages up here. He's trying to switch into Lombos, but he's not going to have the wood to do so at this rate. Scouts are knocking on the door. So Voldemar has to back away. Wild now that he sees just mass warrior scouts that he's going into Longbows, actually. It made sense before against Gunners, but against Mango warrior scouts, you need horsemen, dude. Like, at this stage, you just need horsemen. If there's one thing you can afford, it's horsemen. You've got 56 farms operating at maximum capacity. Almost maximum capacity. It's missing precision crossbreeding. Also, at this stage, just delete the wolves. These wolves actually hurt Voldemar because they're pushing his troops together. Gives more hits for the mangoes at maximum value. The boar's botted as well. Does actually go down. Looks like he's going to be able to splinter, what was that, maybe 1, possibly 2 mangoes, but I'm struggling to see the way for the kid. Shout out to the ball, by the way, for surviving 40 minutes into this game. That's impressive. And yes, ball disappears when Malians kill it. That's the way it works. He's actually doing Voldemar a favor by clearing these walls. It's like, let me just give us a straight confrontation here. Dimmu activating attack on Titan mode. I mean, there are more walls here than there were protecting humanity on that island. Don't know if it's going to be enough to protect Voldemar, though. It's 11 mangoes. Oh my god. It's like, where's Wally? Where's the dead spearman? Everywhere. This neighborhood and the one the next, you just got completely discombobulated. Warrior Scouts breaking all the way in the back again. Giving Voldemar no break here. I mean, if Dimmu just micros this correctly, this could be 20 worker kills. He does just keep blob A-clicking, which, with Warrior Scouts, you have the mobility to just go everywhere, right? Definitely worth doing here. But Dimmu hasn't reached his final form yet, guys. Is there a possibility for trade? He has positioning for it. He can set up, like, up here, and then trade to his neutral. It's not actually the worst idea at this stage. Then again, like, Warrior Scouts is serving him well. Why switch? Villagers? Wait, what are the villagers doing? Oh no. They've been conscripted. And we are on scraping the barrel mode here with that conscription order. They do at least hold long enough to spin to clean up, but not many of them left over. Eco now neck and neck. We have got a counter raid coming in, but it's nowhere near as impactful. The bank. Okay, so Dumu does need to be a little bit careful because, like, 4 mangoes can kill all of this if you don't pay attention. Right? Because remember the adjustable crossbar shots, and you're clustered. Okay, Ben, a crazy idea here, but maybe sofas? I feel like this is very easy to win if you just go sofas, but we're obsessed with scouts and mangoes. I feel like I'm watching a free-for-all game for the Malians. Nice peel off the scouts. It's straight under that siege. Oh, mango down. I mean, you can just go north side now. He's just wiping the front line. Oh my god. Well, we do have a lot of spears coming from Voldemar. Mangoes are in the choke point. There's only 1 mango for the English, though. Someone better be watching this on their TV with base set to maximum. He has reached the mangoes. Assistant shot coming in from his own siege here. Ben does have to back away, but I don't think there's enough spears to clean this all up. We'll at least get a few of the siege weapons. Maybe more. Oh, wait, hold on a sec. Hold on. There's maybe a grab opportunity here. Voldemar needs to just A-click past. Oh, he gets in. Dumu, he turns around for a shot there. So the mangoes are being just wasted here. Several going down. Voldemar, like, okay, how is this game just not over? How has someone not won this yet? Can you guys just win? Voldemar's like, I thought about GGing, but then I remembered. It's past Dumu's bedtime. If I just keep going, I can win. We do have a Musafadi switch coming in. Interestingly enough, Voldemar's gone back to men-at-arms instead of just switching spears into Musafadi. Which might be the right call now that we've got Dumu adding in archers. Does he actually have precision training? I don't think he did. No, he must have, right? At this stage, you just research everything. Yeah, so we have got precision training in. Dumu is now down to 75 economy. And if he keeps zerging troops like this, it's going to hurt him. But now, though, it is leading to an edge. And that really doesn't matter until you reach 200 pop. I'm going to be real with you, I don't know how this game ends. I mean, that's the way I love it, right? But there's no telling how this one's really going to play out. Like, it feels time and time again like Dumu should win, and then just something weird happens. Now, we've had games where Dumu was just playing with this food. I still remember the Lash Dumu game, which was Dumu on Juji. Lash on Byzantines. He toyed with him because he went GG. This isn't entirely that. I think at one point it was, but then it got weird. But I think we've got the win condition now. Dumu, archers are carrying. Poison arrows are doing everything they need, and we do have the occasional sofa getting added in, which is giving the Freeman to charge forward. This is breakpoint, surely. Voldemar, I just don't think he has anything left here, right? He can't come to the tree line on the north side. He desperately keeps trying. Wood income can't be feeling good. He's got 44 trees, but I'm pretty sure that's the stealth forest trees around the map, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to find where he is, actually. I don't know. Somewhere. Wherever it is, there isn't much. I think it's down here, yeah. He basically has straggler trees and then he's out. This is over. Like, Voldemar just doesn't have the income anymore. He won't have the ability to build spears, and once that happens, Warrior Scouts will just laugh. Oh my god. Imagine being 75 villages versus 25 villages. Would you believe that even happened in this game? To then become this. I mean, the absurdity. Sacred Sight's now locked in for Dumu. Musafadi being laid in just to deal with the threat of men-at-arms, but this many archers can basically take on the world. We've got Voldemar queuing up 2 mangoes, but with this type of gold income, it's not really a sustainable thing to do, especially when your opponent already has such a big lead. But at this stage, like, what choice do you have? Pretty sure there isn't any. Have you guys realized how much Voldemar has walled and how little Dumu has? And oh no, that has to be GG. And he's not even pulling them away at this stage. Where would he send them? Voldemar just going to lose so much economy. Textiles makes it a bit slow. He finally realizes what's happening here. But he's blocked on the retreat. He has to walk north towards the enemy. And that's it. GG comes out. It is a 2-0. A comeback that should never have happened here. This may be the biggest throw of 2025.